In our parsha, we're introduced to the greatest prophet of all time, Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses. Moses had fled from Egypt. He was living in Midian. He was married to Tzipporah, the daughter of Yitro, who was an influential person. And one day he was far out in the wilderness with the sheep, with the flock. And there he sees on the mountain in the distance something unusual. There's a fire. That's not strange. But it seems to be burning this bush, and the bush is not being burnt. And he goes a little bit closer. And then suddenly he sees the vision of an angel. And after that he hears the voice of Hashem himself, telling him, Moshe, don't come any closer. First remove your shoes. This is a holy place. And that is where Moshe has his first prophetic encounter with Hashem at the burning bush. The Midrash tells us something very interesting about this encounter. It tells us that first Moshe saw lavat esh. First he saw a fire. It was a fire. It was a physical thing. It was actually burning. But the bush didn't seem to be consumed. He could understand this from a physical point of view. He saw it with his physical eyes. So he came closer to investigate. Once he came closer, then there was the appearance of an angel. And this took him to a higher level, that of the intellect. And he worked out with his intellect that this is not just a natural occurrence, this was a supernatural occurrence. And then a little bit further, Hashem's voice came to him prophetically. And this was even a higher level. So beyond the physical and the intellectual was the prophetic. What does this come to teach us? Rabbeinu Bechaya, one of our great commentators, tells us something very interesting. Moshe, as great as he was, had never had a prophetic event happen to him. And to be a prophet, to receive the word of the infinite God is very, very difficult for a human being. Most prophets would collapse. They would fall into a type of a trance. So what Hashem did is to slowly build him up. He didn't immediately speak to him. First there was a fire. That's a physical thing. Then there was the angel. That's an intellectual thing. And then there was Hashem, who appeared to him himself and spoke to him, and that is a prophetic thing. Slowly building him up until the point where he was ready to receive prophecy. And the idea from this teaching of Rabbeinu Bechaya, I think, is very, very important. And that is when we approach spirituality. There are some people that are born into religious homes, and therefore their growth is very well contained. When they are young children, their parents begin to teach them slowly, the alphabet, they introduce them to mitzvot. So by the time they're teenagers and then young adults, they're used to it. It's part of their skin. They feel comfortable. But what about those, and thank God there are many, people who are returning to their faith, Baalei Tshuva? You know, for them, it's not that good. It's not a good idea to just jump into Judaism, to take on absolutely everything. Because often what happens is a person jumps in quickly, they can jump out just as quickly. So therefore it has to be done in a slow progression. Get into it slowly. Feel your way around. First the fire, then the angel, then Hashem himself. Don't rush. It's a mountain. The Torah and the mitzvot are a mountain. Slowly climb until you reach the summit. I wish you a Shabbat Shalom.